In a post made 7 months ago, this guy posted that if you own a EV, then you could save around $800 to $900 per year. Now, since then, oil prices have increased significantly. It was, I guess, around $60 back then, and currently, crude oil is trading at above $100. So, I wanted to do my own calculations based on current prices regarding how much it would cost me to own a gas car versus an EV car, and how much would I be able to save over a span of like 5 to 10 years. That's what I wanted to find out. Now, based on my calculations, two of the most important factors, as I already mentioned, are fuel and maintenance cost. Now, let's say I have $40,000 and I want to buy a Tesla Model 3. And with Tesla Model 3, it comes with a default capacity of around 60 kilowatt hours. But due to inefficiency, let's say I have to charge it to 75 kilowatt hours. In, Based on California electricity prices, even if I consider peak period, then I would have to spend close to $40 in order to charge this for 300 miles. So if I wanted to if I wanted to travel 300 miles using the Tesla Model 3, I would need to spend $39 for charging. Now let's see what how much I would need to spend on a gas-based car or a petrol car. So a similar petrol car would be the Lexus IS 300, which I would get for $40,000, and I would need to buy around 45 liters of petrol or octane or gas, or 12 gallons of gas. So based on these numbers, I would need to spend around $63 for the Lexus and 39 or around $40 for the Tesla. So the cost is almost double that of Tesla. Uh, Now, based on national average commute ranges, the high commuters travel around 20,000 kilometers. So if I consider that I'll be amongst the highest commuters in USA, then considering the highest usage, I would need to charge my Tesla 67 times, or I would need to refill my Lexus 67 times. And the price difference, if I consider the price difference of $24, then I would need to spend around $1,600 per year extra on the Lexus versus the Tesla. So if I use the Tesla for around 10 years, that comes to around $16,000 over only fuel cost. So if I own the Tesla over the Lexus, then I would be saving $16,000 over a span of like 10 years, which is a pretty realistic estimate of how much I might be using the car. Now let's come to maintenance cost. This article was very helpful for me. It mentions about the complexities of gasoline cars. Gasoline cars are very complex. They have a lot of moving parts. They have drivetrains, they have pistons, they have spark plugs. There is a ton of components. The drivetrain itself comes with 250 different components, whereas the drivetrain of an electric car comes with around just 7 components. So you can imagine the complexity increases the cost of maintenance. The higher the number of parts, the higher the chances of breakage. So based on their estimates and based on what I found online, I figured that over a span of 10 years, I would be spending roughly 25 to $42,000 on the gas car, and 6,500 to $1,600, $16,000 over an electric car. I mean the Tesla. So over a span of 10 years, I would be spending extra $26,000 if I own the Lexus versus the Tesla. So 26. So maintenance cost equals to 26K, and we and fuel cost of roughly, let's say, what was the cost? 16K. So over a span of 10 years, I would be spending 26 plus 16. Let's see how much is it. So it comes down to around 26 plus 16, 42,000. So over a span of 10 years, I would be spending 42,000 extra. on the Lexus over Tesla. Now the question is, if the difference is so huge, then why is everyone buying petrol cars? Even why is the sales volume of petrol cars still higher than EVs? Why is the reason? But before going further into that, let me just verify some of the stuff. So in terms of fuel cost, I assume that it's gonna be $1,600 per year, and this guy, based on this LinkedIn post, he estimated that it's gonna be around $900. So we are pretty close, considering that 7 months back, oil prices, fuel cost was far lower than what's the current relative to the current situation. So if someone is able to save around $40,000 over using a electric vehicle versus a petrol car, then why is the sales of petrol cars still higher than EVs? And what's the future outcome? What's the future outlook of the entire situation? I'm going to be discussing about that. It is very interesting to consider that even 2 years back, this is a 2-year-old post on Reddit. Even 2 years back, people were very much skeptical to buy EVs. They mostly preferred gas-based petrol cars, internal combustion engine-based cars, like this post. So the reasons were that EVs were much more expensive 2 years back. There was issues regarding battery reliability. The quality of batteries was significantly inferior back then compared to now, and the overall image was much more grim towards EVs. And this is a post like 1 year back. In just 1 year, a lot of things have changed. Perception, the way people look at EVs have changed a lot. If I dig further into this, in we have to go 20 years back to 2005. So back in 2005, less than 1% of all the cars sold were EVs, and 20 years after 20 years later, more than 25% of all cars sold are EVs. And in 2026, this number is expected to rise further. And uh, experts estimate that around 2040, by around 2040, EV sales will cross. Here is EV. So around 2040, EV sales will cross petrol cars by close to 2040. Now there are multiple reasons why this might happen. The primary reason being lower battery cost, which significantly impacts the price of the EV, because 20 to 30% of the EV's cost, production cost, comprises of the battery cost. The battery cost has decreased by around 1,000%. 20 30 years back, batteries used to cost around more than $1,000 per kilowatt hours, and currently it's costing less than $100. So there's a significant change in how people look at the battery cost. In addition to this, the battery quality has also improved significantly. During 2005 era, typical lifespan would be around 3 to 5 years, and in 2025 it's around 15 to 20 years, which is significantly higher. Currently, people don't have to worry about battery dying only after 5 to 10 years. Because the quality has significantly improved, and over time, as more companies like BYD are pouring billions of dollars into R&D, it is only expected that this lifespan will increase further, and cost will also decrease further. This has a huge impact on the resale value of the cars, because if the battery lifespan is lower, then people might think that after 5 to 10 years the car is going to be useless, and the resale value is also going to drop significantly. But if the battery cost is significantly lower, plus the lifespan is significantly higher, then the whole resale value equation changes significantly. That is one of the reasons why recently used car prices have dropped, and people are um, shifting more and more towards EVs. As reported in this particular article, used car prices have fallen for the first time this year. This was reported in May 7th. A higher gas price for Hormuz incident is also playing an important role in this issue. So all of these factors are pushing more and more people into buying EVs. There are also other factors. For example, back in 2005, the number of models available for consumers were significantly lower. After Tesla came into the picture, the cars looked much better, uh, looked more practical, more convenient, more comfortable. And in 2025, there are many Chinese makers, many European makers, many US, mostly Tesla, coming up with cars that look something like this, which are able to compete with gasoline cars, which is a significant difference from 2005. Then we have difference in infrastructure. In 2014, this was the situation. This was the situation of 2014. These are the green dots are the charging stations in across USA, and this is the situation in 2024. It has significantly changed, as you can see. So as there are more charging stations, people will be more comfortable buying these cars. Now, pricing has also changed. Now many people might argue that pricing EVs cost a lot higher, still cost a lot higher than gasoline powered cars, but that's only true if you are in US. If you are considering China or other global markets, then the price dynamic has shifted significantly. The reason behind this is that in USA, Chinese EV makers are not allowed, and Tesla is the primary option for most of the consumers. And Tesla cars start at roughly $37,000. Whereas if I compare it with like China, then the BYD Seagull costs roughly 7,800 with incentives, government incentives, and close to $10,000 without the incentives. So it's significantly lower. It is able to compete with gasoline cars. In addition to that, Chinese government offers a lot of incentives. That their regulators favor EVs over gasoline cars. That also plays an important role. But the primary concern in US is that the supply chain has not been built around EVs. It is still reliant on producing gasoline cars. Most of the production capacity around automobile industry is concentrated on gasoline cars. So it will take a lot of time to shift towards EVs. In the meantime, China is expected to dominate the scene.